This is not a tram turnaround. This is not a tram turnaround either. This is a tram turnaround loop. What is the difference? It's very simple, really. One works and the other two don't. Notice how the trams struggle to navigate the tight turns on the two right examples here. That actually is bad in real life, and it is bad in the game. We preferably want the trams to do gradual, smooth turns so that they can keep their speed up and not slow down unnecessarily. The leftmost example, the true tram turnaround loop, does this excellently. I'm gonna show you how to build one of those. So let's build a tram turnaround, and let's not use any mods. You can see I have network anarchy enabled, but I'm not using any of the anarchy settings. So we've toggled off anarchy, bending is on by default, and collision is on by default as well. So this is all vanilla doable, everything you're gonna see here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the curved road, and I'm going to basically freehand a lot of this, because I think it works better with these things anyway, especially if you don't have access to the mods like network multitool or node controller to make things perfectly aligned. Don't be afraid to do things freehand. So I've created this one using the curve tool. This one I'm actually created using the freeform road tool. Every snapping option is currently disabled. We'll enable that in a bit. I just created a node here to make this segment a little bit shorter. It's going to be a little bit easier to work with. I used the node trick there to move the node a little bit. It's a separate video. It's already existing on my channel, so go check that out if you want to like smooth highway connections without any mods. Now we've used the freeform tool to get around here. I think for the last segment we should use the curve one instead and try to make it something like that. And let's do a straight connection here. And you know what? I think we pretty much got it here on the first attempt. Not really. I failed the recording twice or so because I didn't enable the microphone, but if you don't believe me if this is going to function, let's try to add a stop here and see how the trams will use it. Speed up the simulation a bit. Like, this is a little bit bigger than the ones we've already done, but trust me, it's going to work a lot better. And sometimes these are really big. Sometimes they are smaller as well, but a lot of the times they're bigger than you think. It becomes easier, of course, with mods like Move It to make them smaller. Or, you know, like node controller and all these things. Network Multitool is another mod that's really good for creating the loops here. But you can see the trams navigate this perfectly, and they don't slow down, they don't do any of this stuff here. They behave nicely, so it works better, it looks better. So there's no real good excuse to use these types of tram turnarounds if this isn't specifically the aesthetic you're looking for. Like, if that is the case, like, don't listen to me. Like, who cares what I think? But if you want something that looks good and works good, just sort of based out of real life, do this instead. I promised to show Network Multitool as well. You can do it. You can use the loop, create loop mode here. You can even delete these guys here. We don't need them. Wrong mod. and I can select these two, and look at that. I suggest doing it big enough so that we get at least, you know, enough segments to create a nice looking loop like that. But we can also play around with the mod Move It to make this smaller and bigger. It's going to be a little bit fun to see if it works. I'm pressing the minus key now a few times, and you can see it's becoming smaller. With everything selected with Move It and just pressing minus, we'll move all the points towards the common center point. This is one of those features of Move It that people always get amazed when they see me do it, but it's a really easy trick to do. You can do it with anything. You can do it with roundabouts, tram turnarounds. You can do it with any sort of selection really, but it's not always going to work perfectly. But it's a nice little extra bonus trick here. And yeah, that has been me ranting about tram turnarounds. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing and all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.
If you want to support me more, I now have a Patreon page, and this is also how I share save game access, so be sure to check that out if this is something you are interested in.